Hello everyone, it is Toby here, back for another session in the garage gym, and I know it's going to be another pressing session. Last session we did the mythical 100 kilo overhead strict press, but today it is going to be more of a pumpy workout. We are the first week of a new block this week, so our bench sessions are going to be less about heavy doubles and singles, more about volume work. When I say volume work, you'll see in the session plan what I mean by that. And then getting a pretty nice tricep pump as well. So I'm going to go over the session plan, but today's focus really in this freezing cold garage is to get some really good blood flowing through the chest, getting our bench nice and worked, and of course the triceps nice and pumped. So when I say volume work on the bench, it's not going to be like 4 sets of 12 or anything more bodybuildery. I'm still a strongman. I'm still primarily training for strength. We're just going to be doing a few more sets than what I'm used to. So usually I do a couple sets of 2s, 3s, something like that. So today we are going to be doing 4 sets of 3 at 125 kilos to start us off on the bench press. Quite heavy, obviously quite a few sets, but still very low reps. That is the heavy compound we're going to get out of the way. But we are going to end the bench on a set of 8 to 12 at 97.5 kilos. So I expect to get the full 12 reps on that, but that will be a really nice pumpy way to end the bench off. With, as I said, a bit of a higher rep set. So it's 5 sets of bench, 4 of those triples at 125, and then 1 set of 12, I'm going to say, at 97.5 kilo as a back off set, to get the blood flowing through the bench, to get the triceps pumped, get the chest sore, that sort of thing. Then we're going to move on to some dumbbell incline bench press. Usually I'm in the public gym, so I have the nicer dumbbells to use there. I'm going to see what sort of weight I can do on those in the home gym, but don't expect it to be as heavy as I would usually do. But yeah, 3 sets of 8 on those. Again, really nice exercise for getting blood through the triceps and upper chest. And then once we are done with those, that is all of our sort of heavier work done. We're going to move on to the tricep rope pushdowns using the lat pull down I have here, which is going to be, again, a really nice pumpy exercise to get blood through the triceps and finish us off. So you can see what today is all about. It's about getting that volume work in, even though the start of it is going to be real heavy. As we tone back to the accessories, we get more and more volume work through, and then it's just going to be the usual accessories of some rear delt work at the end. So I've laid the session out there, kept you guys in the loop with what we're going to be doing, so now there is nothing left to do but to do it. So I am going to get warmed up on the bench, and I'm going to show you my top 4 sets of 3 at 125 kilos. Right, actually, before we jump into the bench press and start this session off, while I'm still cold and having just taken the hoodie off, we're going to do a bit of a sort of tricep comparison. So I've got a tape measure here. I'm going to try my best to measure my own triceps and see what sort of size they are cold, and then we'll do the same after all of our pump exercises, after the tricep press downs, once we've got lots of blood in the muscle. So we will get that round. It's a real pain trying to measure your own arms, but it is just about doable. So I think that is over close to the biggest part. So the first one is 17.5 inches, which is also 42.5 centimeters. I'm assuming the second one will likely be much the same. My arms have always been pretty symmetrical. And our second one is, if I just pull it tight, yeah, pretty much bang on the same at, can't even really see, 17.5, which again is 42.5 centimeters. So once we have got pumped up, we will see if we can put 1/2 inch on each of these with just a tricep pump, because obviously the tricep is most of the arm, especially with me, it's most of my arm as well, because I don't do nearly any bicep stuff. But that's what we're going to do, and we're going to get benching. that's the heavy bench out of the way. My triceps are already feeling it. You saw on the last rep there, I slightly misgrooved it and it caused the lockout to be a little bit more of a struggle. Also, apologies for the gooch cam angle of set 3. My phone was angled further up, so it didn't look quite that bad. And then as I hit the record button, it must have slipped down and become a full-on eye line to my legs, which is not great for a bench set. But I didn't want to redo the set. Obviously, I didn't want to refilm it, so just stuck it in anyway. And yeah, feeling really good. Pretty much all those sets looked the exact same as I said until the last rep of the last set. So yeah, definitely feeling a little bit sorer now than I was beforehand, but also a little bit warmer, which is really nice. So what we're going to move on to next, as I said, set of 12, 97.5 kilo. Not going to ramble any further, we're just going to get it done. That is then done. You saw at the end there I clutched my tricep, not because I'm injured, just because it was so pumped and so full of blood that it was just, yeah, a bit painful. I'm not used to these high reps, if I must say so myself. It's not my preferred way of training, but it's good fun to do every once in a while. I actually have a few tips for some high rep bench that I have, which makes it easier for me, because a lot of people who train strongman or powerlifting do a lot of low rep heavyweight bench with a very specific setup, a very specific set of mental cues, and then when they have to do a high rep set, they let it all go to shit, and it makes it much more difficult than it should be. So the way I do high rep benches, you saw my setup, my breathing, my bracing, everything was the exact same for the setup, and then I like to keep my breath in for as long as my body will allow me. I've got quite a good lung capacity, so I can do about 8 reps without needing to breathe again on the bench. So that's exactly what I did. I did 8 reps, one after the other, exactly the same as I would a heavy set of bench that's a much lower rep range. And then when I need to get my breath back, simple as lock out the bench, breathe out, breathe back in, brace, and retract your shoulders the exact same way you would when you're starting off your set from fresh, and then bang out as many more reps as you can get exactly the same way. It shouldn't be a completely different technique when you go from low rep to high rep. You shouldn't try and smash them out as quickly as possible. You should do every single one exactly the same as you would if it was heavy, and that's going to have the best carryover for you. So few tips and tricks there with those. My triceps really hurting, so I won't hold the camera for much longer, but next we're going to load up some dumbbells and do some incline dumbbell bench press. So I've managed to load up my home dumbbells to 37.5 kilo each, which is about as much as I can do on them without cracking out the ridiculously big plates like the 10s and the 15s. So I'm not overly happy as in the public gym. I mean, admittedly, the public gym only goes up to 40 kilo as well, but that's what I've been doing for incline bench there. So slightly lighter, but the hardest part about these home dumbbells is cleaning them. Obviously, with a flat-headed public gym dumbbell, you can rest them on your knees, then kick them up. But with these ones, where they've got the massive clips on the end, as you can see there, they really dig in and leave massive bruises on your knees, and it's really painful. And obviously when something hurts, your body instinctively doesn't put as much power into it as it probably should, so it becomes a bit dangerous on the clean. So we're going to see how it goes. I might have to lower the weight from this, but yeah, as for incline dumbbell bench, I like to set the incline slightly higher, so it's not quite a low incline. It's more tricep and upper chest than it is like upper chest and lower chest. It's more tricep focused, more shoulder focused, because that's how I like it. I've just got plenty of chest stimulus from those bench press sets, and now it's time to pump those triceps. So without further ado, let's get dumbbell pressing. Right, so I only recorded 2 sets of those because the first set was sort of one for me to gauge how best to clean them, best to press them, that sort of thing, whether the weight was all right. The weight was fine, and it turns out because the clips are the exact same length, I'll show you down here actually, because the clips and the dumbbell end are flush, it wasn't actually that bad to kick up. Usually if it's just the dumbbell end exposed, it's really painful, but that gave it a bit more of a wider surface to do it. It's still bloody hurt compared to a normal gym's flat dumbbells, and I've decided one of my next purchases for this home gym are just going to be a fixed set of 40 kilo dumbbells, because I can do most things with 40 kilos. I can just about shoulder press them, flat bench, incline bench, dumbbell row, you know, just to have a set of 40 kilo flat, just normal dumbbells just to have without having to set up all this would be really useful. So if you're affiliated with any gym equipment company and you want to donate me some 40 kilo dumbbells, I will gladly accept them. Otherwise, I'll save up and hopefully get them for near Christmas. But anyway, that was those. Triceps are feeling really sore now. Shoulders feeling a bit more. Chest not so much, obviously. Not much of the chest was used in that. But yeah, feeling good. The next thing is the big one, the tricep rope pushdowns. I say the big one for the pump anyway. So yeah, going to load up the lat pull down with a tricep rope, and each set's going to be of 10 reps. Going to try and increase the weight by 2.5 kilo each set, depending on how hard the first set is. This is my first time doing rope push downs on this new lat pull down since we got rid of the old one, so going to be a bit of figuring out, but it should be good, and I'm going to film every set for you. Literally just off of the last set of those, massively pumped up. That really hurts to do that. Yeah, managed to go up in weight each time, as you saw. They're feeling really, really good. Was able to be a lot stricter with them as well than usual, but now it is time to compare from the start the session's 17.5 with just a tricep pump, and probably not very good one at that, because I've only done really 1 or 2 actual pump exercises. Let's see where we are at, if I can get it untwisted. As I said, this is the hardest thing to do on your own arm. So, are we over the largest part? I believe we are, if not close to. And my God, look, don't know if you can see, we are now at 18.5, nice and tight. So we've actually put a full inch on my arm in just a pump, which is crazy. We'll measure the other one just for completion's sake, but I suspect it'll be similar, if not the same. So we are once again over the largest bit, hopefully. Not quite, there we go. This one, if we just get it over the peak and pull it tight. This one is 18.25, so not quite that on this one. Obviously, that could be due to a measuring disparity or just the fact that I measured in the wrong place the first time, the right place the second time, but my arms do feel pumped, and it is crazy how much bigger they do get, even with just a tricep pump. Now imagine if I'd done a bicep pump with that as well. We would have been looking at close to 19 inches, which is amazing. When I started lifting, first off, I was at around a 16-inch arm when I was 100 kilos in body weight, but 100 kilos of pretty much pure fat. And then I cut down to, I believe it was 80 kg at my lowest. And my arms then were around about 15.5, because that was when I started putting on a bit of muscle. And then since then, obviously, we've bulked up to 120, put a little bit of fat back on, but main thing is a lot of muscle. And yeah, we're bordering on a 19-inch arm fully pumped. So fantastic. I'm really, really happy with that. And it's hurting to hold the camera, so I'm going to put it down. So the rest of my session now just consists of some rear delt work. And as you can see in the mirror, look at that tricep. That is just ridiculously pumped. Anyway, distracted by myself aside, yeah, the last thing we're going to do is some rear delt work. I'm not going to film it because it's very basic rear delt work. It is just some face pulls and something called lock 3, which is you lie on the floor and do mini rear delt flies is all I can describe it as. It's horrendous and horrendous to film as well. So I just need to knuckle down and get it done. But this video was centered around the tricep pump and the bench pressing. So now that that is out the way, I am going to bid you farewell to this video. Yeah, it's been a good one, honestly. Haven't had a good pump like that in a while, and glad to get a measurement on my arms, even if it might be a bit crude. Honestly, I don't really care about measurements and all of that. I'm here as a strongman. I care about strength, but it's always fun to indulge on a little bit of bodybuilding-y sort of measurements just to see where I'm at compared to other people. But yeah, not going to write it down or anything. We'll probably forget as soon as this video goes live, but thought it'd be a bit of fun for this video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I have been Toby, and this has been my bench press session on the new block, getting a bit more of a pump in. And yeah, it's been fantastic. Share down below what you guys like to do. What is your favorite body part to get a pump in? Mine personally is probably a back pump. I love a really nice big thick back, which is really, yeah, it's really fun not only to get in the first place, but also I just look nuts with one. So that's probably my favorite. Let me know down below what your favorite is. And otherwise, if you made it this far and you haven't considered hitting subscribe, please do so. I share these videos of my training once or twice a week if I have the time, and I love doing it as a hobby. So please be sure to, as I said, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.